Hi everybody, I have a lovely card that I want to share with you, and it's quite simple. It uses a swirl paper layering technique, as well as an overlay technique for the snowman. So let's do this one. So this is using a few elements here. We have the dies from the Joy dies from Stampin' Up. So it has joy, bright, peace, and then a bunch of little things to go along with that. And then we have the punch, the snowman punch, build a snowman so that we can punch our papers. And then what else? We have circles. I've punched a bunch of circles for this. So these are 1.5 inch circles, 2.25 inch circles, and 2-inch circles. We have all the pieces. We have a card base that will be 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25 and folded to make our card base. We have a piece of Sahara sand, which is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. We have a piece of Very Vanilla, which measures 3 3/4 by 5. We have a piece of brushed metallic cardstock measuring 1 inch by 3 3/4 inches. And yeah, those are all our pieces. And then we have some gold cord. It's part of the Wonders of the Season paper pack, or sorry, ribbon pack. Oh, and one more thing, we have some rhinestones, which I have just enough that for myself to use for this card. All right, let's get started. So we can start with our card base and the Sahara sand layer. And I'm just using my multi-purpose liquid Tombow glue because it allows me that time to kind of shift things into position. And once it adheres very strongly, which I like. So then we can set that aside. And then we can pull over all of our circles. So I have punched, you can see 2 different sizes of two of my colors, Sahara Sand and Very Vanilla. And then I have one that is a in-between size, and that's Pool Party. So we can cut all of these in half with your paper snips. They don't have to be perfectly straight because those edges are going to be hidden on this card. If you're doing this kind of technique, but you're not hiding that, then you might want to cut these more precisely. Okay, one of the smallest halves and one of the largest halves of each of the Sahara Sand and of the Very Vanilla we won't be using, so we'll put those aside for something else. And then these ones we're going to layer. So if you put them all facing the same way, we're going to have one set that will be these 3 layered, and another set that will be these 3 layered. So they're layering opposite to each other. So you're going to take your Pool Party half circle, adhere it to the Very Vanilla half circle to the left and flush at the straight edge. Same with the other set of circles. And then we're going to layer the smallest circle in the same way. Like that. And then those ones we can lay on our card. So I'm going to put the one with the smallest Sahara sand circle is going to go on the bottom, in the bottom swirl. And it's going to be, oh, around about there. So that's about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom and 1/8 of an inch from the side. And then I'm going to do the same with this one, except it's going to be positioned so that you want your blue circles edges to line up. So you could have them quite close if you wanted to, but our metallic ribbon is going to take up, or metallic paper strip is going to take up a fair bit of space. So I want it to have enough space in between that I can still get a sense for that swirl. But I've seen this technique done where it's right tucked close together, and that depends on, it just depends on how you want to use all these pieces, what your look is going to be at the end. And then I can attach the metallic piece, the brushed metallic paper. So that can go right in between our two sets of swirls. And I just attached that directly to the paper. And then I can tie my gold twine or gold cording around. And I still have to add my snowman, but he can slip underneath my ribbon here quite easily. And again, take your time when you tie when you tie bows. Give them the time that they need to become what you're happy with. They just need a little love sometimes. Okay, I can pop that right on my card base with dimensionals. Using up some of my dregs on the edges here. And that's going to go right in the middle. Oh, it's so pretty, just like that. You could just add a sentiment and it'd be great. But we're going to take that a step further. So I have some Whisper White cardstock here with my Snowman punch. I'm just going to take the little snowman guy. And then I have my specialty paper. This is I think it's called Poinsettia specialty paper. It's flocked. So it's vellum, but then it has this white flocking on it, which is quite pretty. So So we can attach those two together. Whenever you're using vellum, it's a bit tricky to get adhesive on there and not have the adhesive show through. But I do find if you're not afraid to get your fingers a little mucky, you can use a little bit of Tombow and smear it on your surface, and then when it glues together, it's such a thin layer that it doesn't show through. It's not perfect. Sometimes it can show through, but it's pretty good. This little guy is going to adhere directly to this left of my card so that he's part of the swirls. And then I can do my joy. I've got the two dies. This one I cut using adhesive sheets between the layers. So adhesive sheets are like a giant sticky sheet with two sides that have backing on them. So you peel off the backing, stick it on a piece of cardstock, and then run it through the cut and emboss machine. And then you have an adhesive backed die, which for these, because they're so delicate, it's really nice to not have to use strategic gluing to get that glued together. So when I remember to use the adhesive backed sheets, then things are good. Things are good. Okay, I'm going to use some dimensionals to attach this joy to my card. So because I'm using dimensionals, I might need to just cut them to fit, because the joy, it's nice that it is a thicker lettering, but it's still, you still need to make things kind of fit. You could use the foam adhesive sheets. That would be a really great way to do this as well. Yeah, but this works. This is pretty easy because there is plenty of room to fit your dimensionals on there. My joy is going to go kind of right over top of it's kind of going across the ribbon or the cording. And then my hat is also going to be on dimensionals, or one dimensional at least. So the snowman's hat, a little jauntily placed, and then I can add a rhinestone to his hat for that final touch of elegance. And then you have your jaunty little joyful snowman in his swirl of winter. If you want to, you can even add some more rhinestones to your little snowman, give him a few buttons, and he's cute. So there's that card. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day and that you enjoy this card.